Welcome to the virtual exhibition of the new arts organization, the Inspiration Art Group International. We are honored and pleased to introduce our program host, Bettina Wilkerson, who we know and love as Poet Gold. She is one of New York State's esteemed poet laureates. Now over to you. Take it, Poet Gold.
Hello, everyone. I was muted this morning. There are mirrors, doors, layers, reflection of our lives, bits and pieces, thoughts, silence, turned into rumbles, mini quakes, deep in the soul, hidden behind the veil. There's so much to say. Prolonged whispers like wind in the night we can't ignore, deafening, cracking the landscape. Behind the veil, no one notices but you, complicit in one's own absence. Words we never dare speak become descending tears, seeping into the corners of our mouths, leaving crystals on our tongue, tiny little cubes, perhaps abandoned, dissolved, or transformed. Welcome, everyone, to the Inspiration Art Group International Art Women at Work Virtual Artist Member Exhibit, open to artist members both nationally and internationally. I'm your host today, Poet Gold. Today, we are pleased to include 33 artworks from 21 multidisciplinary artists. The exhibit is available to view for 2 years on the Inspiration Art Group International website, and the artwork is also available for sale, and poetry is available as commissioned work. Please become acquainted with each artist by visiting their artist profile, also available on the Inspiration Art Group International website. Now I would like to introduce and acknowledge our curator, Bibiana Huang, Matheis, and our technical director for today's program, Bridget Pavlo. Bridget, let's take it away. Leslie Canito, Chilly Mornings, digital photograph on velvet rag paper. The bridal trails in New York become misty when the nights are cool, and the days warm, which begins in mid-late September. Early mornings are usually misty, and one can often see deer and small animals scurry around in the grass and rock walls. Leslie Canito, Talking of Summer, digital photograph on metallic art paper. The dramatic sky here tells of the coming seasonal change. Leslie Canito, Fading Summer Days, digital photograph on cotton rag art paper. The foliage changes about every 2 weeks on our trails, and here we can see the incoming prediction of fall upon the landscape. Now, if we can bring Leslie forward and have a chat with her a little bit about her work. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Everyone is good. Everyone is good here.
Good.
So talk to us about your work. Tell our viewers where you're from, what inspired you to contribute these particular 3 pieces that you did.
Okay, so I'm from northern Westchester in New York, and the pictures were taken while I was riding my little horse Bullet on our trails. From week to week, all of the foliage changes, which is really beautiful, and I like to capture these moments. And I think that the papers that I choose to print them on really sort of make them look more like paintings, or they more like feel like paintings. So right now I'm at the Salamagundi Club in Greenwich Village, New York, and I have a couple of pictures down there. And I'll have an abstract photo in the next show in October. And it's an old club. Everybody should go down there and take a look. And I don't know if you have any questions.
Well, I just want to make a comment that I enjoy how you use the light
Yes.
in your paintings. I really appreciate that. So thank you. You'll be back with us later.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Speaking with you. Can we bring up Liliana Washburn's work, please? Desire. Liliana Washburn, Desire. Ink on Yupu paper. Every feeling we have has two sides. The nature of desires can cripple or drive us to greatness. This painting reflects my own desire to be unbounded, to give myself as much as I possibly can. Liliana Washburn, Ascension, acrylic on Yupu paper. Ascension was created during a period of 4 months. While creating the work, I couldn't understand why I would go back day after day working at it. Initially, I didn't like the work, but I continued to build on it, driven by a force I could not understand. As I placed the last drops of alcohol on the painting, the artwork came to life. It felt to me as the breath. The title Ascension came to mind. I knew right then that the creation of this painting was the way I found to accept the fact I knew my mother was about to pass. This painting has allowed me to talk with my mother on a new level. It has allowed me to listen to her and understand that she too knew and accepted that her moment of was coming. It has given me peace. For my mother, 1940-2014. Hi, Liliana.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm just like, I still feel emotional every time I think of the painting and I look at the painting. Yes, but I'm happy to be here with this group of artists that are incredible. And thank you so much for being here for us.
Absolutely. And so where are you from?
I'm originally from Brazil. I'm a painter and I'm also an illustrator. These two works are part of my initial work as an artist. I started painting in 2011, and Desire is from 2011, and it's inks on Yupo paper. And Ascension, the one you just showed before, is from 2014. This one is from 2014. My work is all based on my emotions. And I'm interested when I work in the process, what the process of painting does to you in helping you to process your own emotions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not only painting, but I feel that all the arts in itself it can allow people to process joy, can allow people to process pain, allow people to process grief in the process itself. Is there any particular reason why you chose this color, or did it come to you organically, these colors that you chose for your work?
It came to me organically. I didn't really think of them when I was doing it. Most of my work on Yupo especially, it's not thought before. That isn't a thought process. It's just a feeling, how my body moves and how I create that. Gotcha. My actual work that can be seen on Inspirational Group, it's more related to illustration, and it's a different process. It's more of a thought process than anything.
It's intentional.
Yes.
Got it. So thank you very much for sharing with our viewers, and we'll have you back in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Alice Harrison, Gentle Breeze, Mixed Media Collage. The breeze has the lightest touch. Alice Harrison, Breeze 1, Oil, Acrylic, Mixed Media Collage. Feeling the breeze with the car windows open, based on using car fabric as part of the collage. Can we bring up Alice? Is Alice present? Okay. Alice may not be in the room right now. Hopefully she can come back later. When we move on to the next piece, Jenna Lash. Jenna Lash, Tanzania giraffe, acrylic on canvas. Inspired by the Tanzanian 500 shilling note, I reconstruct and recontextualize global currency in art practice so that it becomes my visual metaphor for environmental and cultural relevance. And I know that Jenna is not with us today. Cassandra Jennings Hall, Sweet Swollen Hearts, acrylic on canvas. Sweet Swollen Hearts is a colorful abstract composition of hearts. This piece is dedicated to all of those whose hearts are bursting with love and concern for themselves, their community, and society. Cassandra Jennings Hall, Explosion 1, Autumn, acrylic on canvas. This painting is from a series of 3. It is my interpretation of the onslaught of autumn, the changing moods. It shows windy days, sunny days, and cloudy days. It's like this any time during the year, but it seems fall, that's all there. Hi, Cassandra.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for being with us this morning.
It's a pleasure.
Wonderful. Can you tell our viewers where you're from and what inspired you to do these particular pieces for this show?
Well, I was born in South Carolina, but I live in Teaneck. And I consider myself a colorist. So color usually tells me which way to go with these paintings.
Mm-hmm.
And on this Sweet Swollen Hearts, it just started out as a straight on abstract. And then all of a sudden I started seeing these hearts showing up. And I just went on from there.
I love the way the hearts, seem to be almost in a circular way. It has sort of like a community of belonging of hearts. That's the feel I get from it. And your autumn piece, I think, speaks to where we are right now and the transition between the summer and the fall.
I wanted to capture movement a lot in these pieces. This is one of a series of 3, and I was interested in creating movement and the wind. So
it comes through. It definitely comes through.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll have you back a little later.
Okay.
Thank you. Susan Aubrent, Parchment Blowing in the Wind, Oil on Linen. The parchment of time and recorded history blowing in the wind. We are but a brief stay in this world and are obligated to leave it more beautiful than we found it. Susan Aubrent, September School Days, Pastel. The magic of fall's beginning, its transformation through the opulence of wind and the taste of autumn's golden colors. Is Susan present?
Here.
Hi, Susan.
Oh, there you go. Hi.
Yep, here I am. Can we bring Susan's first piece back up? If possible, if not. Susan, tell the viewers where you're from and.
Well, I live in Westchester. I was born in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and I was an illustrator, Grammy-nominated record album covers, children's books, advertisements, taught myself to paint, and I also crochet one-of-a-kind garments.
Wonderful. I love the way this piece has movement in it.
Thank you. Well, it's the idea of the passage of time and all of the different doctrines from around the world are as unimportant or as important as we all make them congeal.
Can we go to the next piece, please? Thank you. Talk to us about this piece.
This is an early piece when my children were going to school in Ossining. I'm now a grandmother, but it was done out the window watching everything live as they were coming home and the chill was starting to hit the air and all the colors were there. So it's a wonderful memory as well for me.
That's a beautiful piece. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. And we'll have you back in a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you. And now we're going to watch a video by Marlo Shamai, artist and writer. Nancy Tucker, music composed and performed. Winsome, fine art animation. Those moments of grace sneaking into life unexpectedly awakened me. Delight, joy, calm, a sense that the bright light of being present has been flicked on, energizing on a cellular level from the heart outward, connecting me with us. Being of wind, rock, leaf, fur, scale, feather, and flesh, all life is woven together within a matrix of mystery, love, and heart. Are we going to bring Marlo and Nancy up? Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good. Good to see you, Poet Gold.
Yes, thank you. I love the way your video and the work just pops. The colors in there pop. How did the two of you come together in this body of work?
Good question. With this piece in particular, I completed it. I told Nancy the essence or the mood, the point of it, where it was coming from, and said, here it is. It's pretty much done. Could you compose something to it? Is that how it went? And then, or did you?
So.
It was a while ago. Oftentimes I'll say I have something and she'll say, well, how long is it? A minute 30. So I have a piece that's a minute 30 that has that flavor, and I'll look at it with the video and it's totally in sync with the edits. So it really, it's very organic, Poet Gold. Oftentimes I'll describe it, she'll create it. Other times it'll have been created and she'll throw something at me that might work.
Has it ever happened in reverse?
Where I write something and then I ask her to write, I don't think so.
Okay.
I write something and she was, and I didn't like it. This was a whole other piece. And then, yeah. And so she showed me something and I said, well, you can try this music with it. And it worked fine. And then I, of course, made it better than it was, but I was just going to toss it. So it was great. Sometimes that happens too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you tell our viewers where you're from, actually?
Sure. Originally, Chappaqua, New York. I live in Goshen, Connecticut now. We both do. This is our home behind us.
Yes. Got it. Got it. All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing that beautiful body of work. And I'll have you back. Actually, I think I'm going to bring everybody else on now. So if you want to hang out, and Bridget, if we can bring folks back. Great showing, everyone. Just want to have you briefly here so that if anyone has any upcoming work that you'd like to share with our audience, and maybe share your website as well, even though they can go to Inspiration Art Group International, and look and find your profiles there. But does anyone have an upcoming show that they'd like our audience to know about?
Other than the HV Mocha show coming up?
Well, you can mention the HV Mocha show.
Yeah, in Pleasantville, right? Coming up in October.
Okay.
That'll be on the Inspirational Art website page. Anyone can come. I don't remember when the opening is. Does anybody remember when it is?
Leslie, is that a part of the Address Earth show that's taking place in numerous
Correct.
venues
Yes.
around Westchester and
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
fabulous, fabulous thing.
Maybe someone can drop that link into our chat and this and YouTube, and this way the viewers will know on YouTube when that date is. Okay, fantastic. Anyone else? Yes, Liliana.
I own a gallery in 9 Vassar Street. It's Liliana Washburn Gallery. And I have a show going on right now, and it's gonna end on 29. I have a few of my newer works on display, as well as works of other artists. So if you are interested, stop by to say hi.
What is the name of your gallery?
L. Washburn Gallery. You can go to LW Gallery and you see the information there.
And 9 Vassar Street, that's the Cooning Hackett building, correct?
Yes, correct. Inside Cooning Hackett Art Center. And you can see other galleries as well there. There are 3 other galleries in Cooning Hackett that can be visited anytime from Monday to Friday.
Fantastic.
This is a bit in the future, but next summer I'm having a retrospective at the Greenberg Public Library, which is 250 square feet of space plus a wall outside.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, remind us again, because I know there'll be some other shows. I'm going to go to Cassandra, and then I'm going to go to Alice. Okay, Alice?
Well,
go ahead.
I think Alice and I are going to talk about the same thing. We're both in a show at the Belsky Museum in Closter, New Jersey. And the exhibition starts October 8th and in October 29th.
Okay. So, Alice, was that the same thing you were going to mention?
Well, I have a few others also. We're also both in an exhibit in Hackensack, New Jersey, and also in an exhibit in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And I'm today delivering work to a show that's going to be in Newark at the Newark, a pop-up show at the Newark Brewery.
And do you have a website, Alice?
Yes, it's AliceNHarrison.com.
AliceNHarrison.com. Wonderful. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to ask you to hit the X where it says leave studio. Someone's pointing at someone.
Nancy?
Okay, sorry.
I have a new website. It's NancyTuckerMusic.com.
Wonderful. NancyTuckerMusic.com. Everyone got it? NancyTuckerMusic.com. So check out all these wonderful artists. I know it has that kind of feel to it. Check out all these wonderful artists.
My website is SusanObrant.com.
SusanObrant.com. So, yes. But you can go to the Inspiration Art Group International website and connect with all of these wonderful artists. Now I'm going to ask the artists to leave the studio so we
Thank you, Poet Gold.
Too. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we can let the other group in.
No, I don't think we hit that yet.
Hit the X. Make sure I hit the leave studio. Hit the X.
This?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's bring up our other group of artists that are backstage, hopefully, from group 2. And so we can share with our audience their wonderful work, please. And let them in. So we're at Tanya Kukuchka. Wow. Endangered red wolf, extinct red wolf, acrylic on canvas. Mirror, mirror on the wall, will humans help to save us all? When we gaze into a mirror, do we see our future selves? This is a diptych depicting images of American red wolf, the only large carnivore species solely native to the USA. It is classified as critically endangered by the International Union of Conservation of Nature in 1973. The species has been reduced to only 35 left in the wild, residing only in North Carolina. Red wolves once inhabited much of the eastern U.S., but are now close to extinction due to human hunting and habitat loss. The Red Wolf Recovery Program is in effect, tracking and monitoring the remaining wolves. The American red wolf is a national treasure that we must save. If we don't help, these beautiful, important creatures will become extinct. Hi, Tanya.
Hello, Poet Gold. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. And thank you for sharing this piece and making our audience aware of the peril and the dangers that the red wolves are living in today. So tell us where you're from and why this is close and near and dear to your heart.
I live in the Hudson Valley in New York, and I'm a painter and sculptor. And the red wolf, I was researching like endangered species, and the red wolf, the fact I did not know that that it was endangered and that there were only 35 left. So I found it quite shocking. And there's so many animals that are endangered and all over the world, but I wanted to focus on ones that were here in the US. So I just decided that it would be really interesting to do a portrait of a wolf and then another portrait that was not so friendly or so nice.
Right.
And I wanted to kind of convey in my paintings that they're asking for help. And I believe that I achieved that. So thank you so much for having me in this show. It's such an honor to be part of this wonderful.
No, and and the fact that you show the images in contrast to each other, don't shy away from that. It was looking at your body language. Don't shy, own this, own this because own it, own what you're saying with it, because it's important, it's relevant, for us to really understand as humans our relationship with everything that's living. And our consumption in the process, our need to sometimes just destroy for the sake of destroying, without any rationale to it, except it makes me feel good. And so I really appreciated this piece. I did not know the red wolf was going extinct because of, once again, human behavior. So thank you. We'll have you up a little bit later, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we have Kyoko Sake. Kyoko Sake, Longing for Mars, acrylic on canvas. Glaring summer flowers fall, dark green leaves and their shadows getting paler. The midnight heat is gone. Waiting for the evening breeze, watching the night stars, especially the red star Mars, passing the firefly season. So is Kyoko with us or watching on YouTube? Hey.
Hi.
I know you popped in earlier. So Kyoko, where are you from?
Basically, I am from Japan. I was born in Japan, and until I had a college education, I was in Japan. And after I got married, I came to the United States. And then my art education started here. So I went to art school in New York. So that's how I was. And I'm a basically abstract painter. And I'm always thinking about myself. But I always like to look at skies and think of all the imagination. I enjoy imagining all what is happening in outer space. Right. And whenever I paint, I always combine with my feeling and connect it with object. I mean, like solar system or moon or Mercury or whatever. So one time I thought, just why don't I paint just Mars, just moon, just moon, Mercury, Pluto, all these things including bursting stars, things like that, Milky Way, things like that. So this is one of the series. So this is not my usual work, but I'm so honored this was included in this beautiful show.
Well, I love the piece, and you answered my question, which was going to be why Mars, and now I know that it's part of a series that I hope that you exhibit somewhere that I, can come see, because I'm a NASA and space nerd, so I'm always going onto the NASA site, and I'm fascinated with the stars and the sky and the galaxies. So I really appreciated your work. So thank you so much, and we'll have you back a little later, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Kyoko. Now, our master of technology here, who's in the back, this is her work, Bridget Pavlo, Power Within, Digital. With knowledge comes power. We often put ourselves and skills down. However, that's when we need to learn to gather our loved ones for support we deserve. Our power is from within. Don't give it to someone else. Own it with kind intentions. Bridget Pavlo, Peace of Mind, Digital. Carve out times just for yourself and give your mind space to unwind. Bridget Pavlo, Light the Way, Digital. Find your own path and be open to discovering and relearning yourself. Bridget, you want to come from backstage?
Hi, Poet Gold.
Hi, Bridget. I'm a big fan of your work. I really appreciated the messaging and how it related to what what you're saying to people in an inspiring way. So tell us, one, where you work from, right? And also why? Why on these particular pieces, why did it speak to you in this way?
Yeah, so I work in South Salem, New York, and I thought also, first out, this exhibit I thought was perfect because I love to incorporate a lot of autumn and Halloween aspects into my work, but to also, I feel like a lot of it is more mainstream now, and a lot of it is more like horror based and things like that, and I want to bring a more positive light into it, where people can still enjoy the season. Not everything is as you see on TV. Just to start to question things more, look into it more, research it, see how that can work best for you. And if it doesn't, that's fine, just to be a bit more open-minded, I guess.
My brother teases me. And I had to smile when I was reading your artist statement because you say, own it with kind intention. And he said, if I ever got you a T-shirt, sis, it would say, own it. Because I have a tendency to say, whatever it is, just own it so we can all just move past it,
Like you were just saying to Tanya.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's just own it, and especially when you know that it's whatever it is, it's not with the intent to be cruel or the intent to be the intent to hurt someone. As you said, own it with kindness. So thank you, Bridget. We'll have you up a little bit later. And thank you for all the work that you're doing here today in sequencing the show. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Poet Gold. It's always so great to work with you and Bibiana.
Thank you. So I think we have Nikki Ketchum coming. Yes. Nikki Ketchum, The Path. This image is an imaginary landscape with an imaginary light. The path is made of rose petal. Is it the path to the future? And Nikki has just one piece, is that correct? Yes. Oh, Nikki's not present today. Okay. So we're going to go on to Ellen Pilskin. Rust shutters. Watercolor gouache pencil on paper. Looking in, and looking out at the Santa Fe street scene. Ellen Pliskin, red window, watercolor gouache pencil on paper, looking in and looking out at the Santa Fe hills. Is Ellen with us?
Hi.
Hi, Ellen. How are you today?
Great.
Speak to us about these pieces and also let the viewers know where you are.
Right now I'm in my West Side studio in Manhattan, but I also live part-time and have a studio in Cheshire, Connecticut. These pieces were done while looking at various parts of Santa Fe. And it's interesting to me because I didn't realize it at the time that both of these works show reflections, show looking in at this wonderful, hopeful environment inside, but they also reflect one the street, the houses outside, and the other one the hills. So it's both a calmness in and a looking outward at what might be around it.
And is that the calmness that you speak to? Is that how it made you feel, or is that what you hoped the viewer would receive from it?
I think it's probably what I feel as I'm working on it. They take each piece takes about 3 weeks to complete. So I'm certainly in a zone when I'm working on them. And then people tell me that it gives them a sense, my series on windows and doors, in this case Santa Fe, are very comforting and wanting to have that pleasantness in their own environment.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, and we will have you back up in a little bit. Okay. Thank you. This next piece, the artist is Sabrina. I know she's not present this morning. It's empathy, detritus paper, and paper mache. We have buried empathy in our need to consume. Inspiration for this is a rock strata formation. And if they're watching on YouTube, both Sabrina and Maureen Burns Bowie, just want to say hi to you out there. And so the next up is Maureen Burns Bowie's piece, Joy, Porcelain, celebration of our oneness with nature. I believe we have a second piece, correct. Maureen Burns Bowie, Unfolding, Porcelain, constant renewal and rediscovery of our love of nature. And we have the final piece for this grouping, Monique Allen, T-LL equals SM plus T-R. Cipher Voice Series, mixed media on wood panel. Man is an alienated animal who must create symbols and order them in codes if he wants to bridge the gap between himself and the world. He must attempt to mediate. He must attempt to give the world meaning. Whenever one discovers codes, one can infer human presence. As a biologist, at first I worked with the environmental preservation and developed a strong connection with nature. There are so many disasters happening right now in the world. Depredation of the Amazon rainforest, deterioration of the environment, indigenous populations decimated due to lack of protection and care by governments, hunger, wars. There is very little good news. I want to shake who does not care about these tragedies. Through my work, I wish to call attention to the urgency of doing something to avoid a collapse of our environment and uncivilization. Cipher Voice is a series of small works. Their titles are coded. When I was a teenager, I used this code to take my notes, in which the vocals were replaced by mathematical symbols. Can we bring everyone up? Was Monique available?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Hello.
Hi, Monique.
Good morning. Hi, Poet Gold.
I'm good.
Good
Monique,
to see
you're
you.
echoing.
Monique,
You're echoing. Do you have your
Do you have
YouTube on and your phone?
No, I turned it off.
Okay. All right. You seem to be echoing a bit. So talk to us about this piece. That moved forward from your childhood encoding to your adult life in your art.
The idea of working with code came from my memories. It started with the two kind of code that I used to play with. One was Morse code, because my father, he was French, and he was during the Second War. He learned Morse code, and he taught us after. So we used to communicate and play games using Morse code. And then at school, I used this code. I have to admit, I was cheating with the teachers to know about what I was needing to have studied for the exams. And in the end, I was learning just through the codes. And so now that I've developed this series of cipher voices, the idea is that I think that when you use a code, you create a kind of mystery that challenges and stimulate people to try to understand what is there. And this allowed people to stay longer feeling and exchanging the artwork. And I believe that this can help for some deeper communication. So what is written in this, when you read the title of the work, it's written Tellus Mater. The vocals are symbols, are mathematical symbols. Right, and Tellus Mater means Mother Earth. And this comes from a beautiful theory that I read in the past, that mankind in the early times, when we were in prehistorical times, they used to go deep in the caverns and make their drawings there, because they believed that this was the womb, this was the belly. Sorry, English is not my first language, but this was the belly of Earth, and Earth was a woman, was feminine. So they were trying to help those animals to get birth because they needed for food. And I thought this was a very beautiful theory. And I see our Earth as a kind of our mother, and we belong to Earth. So this was an homage to Mother Earth.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where are you presently?
Well, I'm presently in North Salem.
Okay.
I come from many places. I was born in Brazil. I was raised in Brazil, but I was with a French father and Mexican mother. So in fact, I don't have really family in Brazil, and we were a little bit kind of in some place that is in the middle of everything.
Got you. Thank you. Can we bring up the other artist?
Hi, everybody.
There's Sabrina. Wonderful. So I'm gonna ask Monique. Can you mute yourself for a second?
Can I do what? I'm sorry.
Mute.
If I can mute myself, where can I mute my? Oh, I see.
Can you say?
Okay, great. I wanted to eliminate the echo, and then when I call you, you can open back up. Okay. Sabrina, since you've just joined us, we did show your wonderful piece. I know that you and I are in a show together at Wham. So why don't you speak about your piece first, and then speak about the upcoming show at Wham? Because I was going to let you speak about that.
Okay. Hi, Gold. Good morning.
Good morning, dear.
And my fellow artists. Good to see y'all. So the piece that you showed, I call Empathy, and I think of socially how we seem to have buried the word. So I buried it in our on all of the junk and stuff that we collect and throw out. And I buried it in the sense of kind of looking at rock strata formation. So that was the inspiration for the look of it, was if you did a cross section of the crust of our Earth in, a few thousand years, that this is what you'd see instead of actually a rock. And so that's the inspiration for this piece. I've done this numerous times on larger scales. So that's this piece. I think most of you know that I work in found objects a lot, but I also do modeling and model the figure. And both Golden and I are in a show at Wham, Behind the Veil, and the opening of that show is on October 14th, the same day as HV Mocha, which I'm also in. So I will be running around that day. Luckily, they're both at different hours, so I can make both shows. I'm super excited to be in both of them.
Yes, and the Wham show is located in Woodstock for our audience members. It's the museum out in Woodstock.
Yeah, and the name of that show is Behind the Veil.
Right, which was the first piece that I opened this show with today. Thank you, Sabrina. Would you like to share your website since you're speaking right now?
Sure. Well, the Instagram, I'm deciding whether I'm going to keep a website. I'm not positive I'm going to. I'm going to do a little analysis. I'm thinking that Instagram is maybe the way I'm going to continue to go in the future. So my Instagram is Sabrina Sculpture, and my website right now is sabrinasculpture.com. So easy enough, but yeah, and I guess I could let you guys know the analysis of that later on, see how much websites are being used these days.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tanya?
Yes?
Yes. Can you share if you have any upcoming shows or website you might want to share?
No, I believe that I'm going to be part of the HV Mocha show coming up in Peekskill. And I will have a piece in there. And I do not have a website. I pretty much do Instagram also. So,
okay, fantastic. Bridget.
Yes, I'm currently going to be teaching digital art classes at Silvermine Art Center for currently working on creating some graphic design and also character design classes. And they're in New Canaan, Connecticut. But I also have a website. It's bridgetpavlo.com.
Okay, thank you, Bridget. Ellen?
Right. I use Instagram really completely.
Okay.
So I'm on there as Ellen Pliskin, user of it. And I currently don't have a website either. And I'm thinking about it also, Sabrina. I'm probably not going to go in that direction at this point. So that's an interesting thing. And I'm also a photographer and a printmaker. So I currently have some photographs in the literary magazine Flora Fiction, and also have some online presence in the Nature Conservancy photography exhibition right now.
Thank you. Kyoko?
My website is kyokosakai.com, and currently I'm not planning any show.
Okay. Do you have an Instagram, Kyoko?
Yes, I do, but I'm not very active.
Got you.
And
okay.
Rather than my painting in my Instagram, rather than my painting, something I do a very little thing like I do. Well, my collage, I once did a collage on book of Picasso's poster. That is only the collection of posters. So there are lots of vacant room where I put lots of stuff, and I made that kind of collage book. That is in my Instagram, and also I did some. Well, my friend asked me to draw breast painting on napkins on her birthday. So I did a series of that. I think I have that one. But I do not have my major works in my Instagram.
Got you. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And Monique, you can unmute yourself now.
Yes.
And do you have any upcoming shows or?
Yes, I do have. Well, I just curated an exhibition that it's online now at New York Artist Circle. It's from New York Artist Circle. It's the Decode exhibition. It's on the website of the New York Artist Circle. And I have also, I'm going to have a work in the HV MoCA exhibition. And I have also the new online exhibition that came this weekend from Odetta Gallery that is going to stay until December. And my website is moniquealain.com. I use also Instagram, which is Monique Alain. And thank you so much for including me in this beautiful show.
No, fantastic. Thank you, artists. I'm going to ask you to hit the X at the bottom that says Leave Studio so that we can get our final group and show their work. Close out the show. Thank you. Do we have Karen LaFleur's work first? Oh, there it is. Okay, great. Karen LaFleur, Whirling Eddies, Digital Painting. Whirling Eddies captures autumn blue skies and the currents of fast-moving streams with their cold waters not yet frozen. Floating in the swirling waters are the last seed pods of summer, containing all the colors of the warm season hidden inside their outer shells. These miniature time capsules flee the approach of winter on stream currents, searching for a muddy bank to burrow in, a place to sleep through frozen snow until they can bloom again in spring. Whirling Eddies. Is Karen here? Hi, Karen.
Hi, Paul Gold.
How are you today?
Doing fine.
That's good. I really like this piece because I have a tendency to look at the water, you know, when you come across streams or lakes and during the transition between the fall going into the winter and how it freezes and what you can still see. So this spoke to my heart. But tell us about it. Share something about this piece for you.
Well, it's interesting because when this subject came up, I was like, you know, usually you think of fall going into winter, but for some reason I think of fall as the beginnings of something. And so, and I too love to look at the waters, either the ocean or the rivers or streams. And I'm always fascinated by the tiniest, most minute forms of life. Yeah. And I've looked at little seed pods for many decades at this time of the year, and I always think of them like little time capsules for spring. So that's where this came from.
And where are you located?
I'm located on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, on the island. Yes.
Okay. All right. So you see you have a lot of water around you.
I see a lot of water.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Karen, for submitting some work, and we'll have you back in a little bit, okay?
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren Eiferman, Carbon Capture, Pieces of Wood, Silver Leaf Paint, Pastel and Linseed Oil. The small sculpture imagines what a carbon capture device might look like. This work was part of my Macro series. Lauren Eiferman, Seeds of Change, 35 pieces of wood, paper pulp, and linseed oil. This work came about noticing shedding maple seeds in June. It used to be that maple seeds fell in late August and September. Now they're falling months earlier. I believe this is an unnoticed effect of climate change. Lauren Eiferman, Be Still, My Beating Heart, pieces of wood, graphite, and linseed oil. This 3-part wall sculpture imagines a heartbeat monitor printout, but made out of wood. The center, beating, is calm and flowing, like a calm breeze. Be still, my beating heart. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Poet Gold. Thank you for doing this. Thanks, Bibiana. And thanks to all the artists for being here and letting me discover all your new work. It's great.
Wonderful. Speak to us about your work. Where are you from, first of all?
Born and raised in Brooklyn, currently living in northern Westchester, New York. I have a studio here. I work every day. Every morning I start out collecting sticks, tree branches, limbs. Everyone in my neighborhood calls me the stick lady. I look for shapes within each branch and then cut and join small pieces of wood together to create my sculpture. So this carbon capture piece has 95 small pieces of wood that have been jointed together.
Wow.
So each piece is unique, and these works were inspired by what I see, what I'm thinking. I frequently work from source material of ancient manuscripts or old photographs. I work a lot from two-dimensional sources, but these three pieces were different than my usual work.
I keep hearing, "Be still, my beating heart."
Yeah.
I feel a poem coming on.
Yeah. It was a really tough month of me creating this work. I was staring at way too many heart monitors in the hospital, and that this piece came about from that. I just wanted the heartbeat to be rhythmically normal, not, wacky. But everybody is healthy now, so that's good.
That's good. That's very good. That's very good. Thank you so much for sharing, and we'll have you back in a little bit, okay?
Great.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Now, I believe we're going to watch a video by January Yoon Cho, and it's called Orange City. Music by a sad cinematic piano. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. Ashamaluv music. My work investigates individuals' relationship with the social or physical environments, leading to social conformity, feminism, and environmentalism. Orange City captures the dreamy orange glow enveloping the New York City cityscape on June 7, 2023. This distinct hue was a consequence of the smoke emanating from numerous wildfires raging in Canada. The smoke had traveled all the way to the east coast of the United States. The deteriorating air quality prompted New York City authorities to issue a health advisory warning to stay indoors. Before picking up my child from the school bus, I went to Gantry State Park on the East River in my neighborhood to document the surreal scenes of an apocalyptic atmosphere through my lens. The discomfort of my irritated eyes and a sore throat persisted for days until a subsequent rain washed away the lingering odors of burning wood. The impact of climate change has emerged as the most formidable threat to our way of life. Hello, January.
Hi, Poet Gold.
Hi, my dear. I remember that day well. So speak to us about, you captured so much of what that. I mean, it was a time period, but I remember the first day that it happened.
Right. So before the day that I captured it, I started to smell I thought it was somebody barbecuing in our building.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Queens, in Long Island City, and I thought, oh, someone must be burning wood for barbecuing. And then it started to get really intense. On that day, and then the color of the sky looked strange. And then I heard the city issued a warning sign of like people not to go outside. But I had to go pick up my child to the bus stop. So on my way, I just went out a little bit early, carrying my camera, and went outside. The park is usually crowded. There was not many people out there. Some occasionally people were taking pictures of this orange glow with their iPhones. That was a very strange day. And then when my child came home, he couldn't stop talking about how orange it looked when he looked outside from his school window.
Right. If he becomes a writer, because I follow him on Instagram, if he becomes a writer, he'll have so much.
Right, the COVID and
yes, he'll just have so much. It's just amazing what this generation
right
is coming up in. It really is. So thank you for sharing this powerful piece. I'm going to have you back up in a little bit and to share any upcoming work that you may have. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. We have Ilse Schreiber Knoll, Towards the Sun 1, Mixed Media and Collage on Canvas. I wasn't quite sure it was a 1 or an I, but Towards the Sun, I or 1, belongs to a series of paintings and artist books, a work in progress that depict the importance of the sun as a symbol of hope, light, and positivity, and a place where we can move to out of the shadows of despair to warm our hearts and souls. The sun is a life-giving force that stands for clarity, power, energy, hope, and positivity is needed for all living creatures to survive. But human interference with nature, such as cutting down forests and farming livestock, burning fossil fuels, has led to the increase of greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere, causing the rise in temperatures. And with this, the sun is on the way to become an irritation. Is Ilse here with us today?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Ilse. So help me out. Is that Towards the Sun 1 or I?
It's one of a series of paintings I'm working on.
Got you. Okay.
Because it's not all about the sun, but it's a series of nature works. Because I'm working on a series called Embracing Nature's Brush, which means I will mix a series of paintings which I had exposed to the environment for over a year outside in my garden, and then paintings which I have entirely just done in the studio.
Okay.
So it's like a complete exploration of art in the studio, art outside, and how they interact with each other. So this is one of those which goes in the series of the inside studio painting.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And Ilse, where are you working from?
I live in Croton. I work from my house. I have a studio in my garage, and that's where I work from. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here and for being present. Can we bring up Phyllis Chadwick, please? Phyllis Chadwick, Searching, Watercolor on Canvas. Searching and looking deeper, we can find new meaning. Some things reveal themselves through introspection. Phyllis Chadwick, What Was Watercolor Painting? A statement about the environment, that the beauty that is here now but not cared for will disappear forever. Hello, Phyllis.
Hi, Pokel. Thank
Hi.
you for doing this, and thank you to Bibiana and Jit and everybody who's worked so hard to put this together. It's really been a very fascinating program.
Well, everyone's work is really meaningful, and beautiful at the same time. Speak to me why these two pieces in this show.
I guess just through awareness and things happening in the world, humanity and nature, I just feel like there's so much going on, and we only ever really look at the surface. And when you look deeper or sit with something for longer, you see so much more, and there's more understanding. And I feel like it's a way to bring attention to that in our world, we need to spend time looking deeper, whether it's with each other or with nature, in order to preserve.
Right. Well, thank you. Where are you working out of?
I'm in Dutchess County. I have a little studio in my home that I work out of.
Okay. Can we bring the final group of artists up, and so that everyone can share where an upcoming show that's happening, your website or your Instagram, and if we can take a little time to do that before we end our show today. So, Phyllis, let's start with you, since we were speaking with you last.
I have a couple of shows going on. I have some work in the Sherman Library in Sherman, Connecticut. I have some work coming in October at the Live for Art Gallery in Pauling. And I always have work hanging in a cafe Perk Up in Stormville on 216 that I circulate. Mostly that's my photographs, but sometimes my paintings.
Okay.
My website is pgchadwick.com that I share with my husband. And I have Instagram, Phyllis Ann's Yellow Rose Art Studio.
Great. Thank you. Karen?
Yeah, I have a number of things that I'm working on, but the one that's coming up most recently is the Mocha Lights. It's like a projection festival on buildings in Chog, New York. I should know the dates, but I think it's around October 5th. 3 or 4 days, they light up the whole town. So they invited me to be a solo artist on a single building. So I have a 2-minute animation, and I'm working on a number of projects going into 2024.
Okay, great. Thank you. Ilse?
Yes, I have a solo show coming up at Bau Gallery in November 11th, entitled Embracing Nature's Brush. It's exploring the intersection of art and the elements. And then at the same time, there is a small room called the Beacon Room in Bau, which I curated an exhibition, which is a traveling exhibition, or let's rather say it's an exchange between the Netherlands, Germany, and here. And the title is called the bridge as a metaphor. So the bridging of gaps, the bridging of people together. So all the artists doing a very small piece of work, like about typewriting pages. They do an image on metaphorical on a bridge. So I got 12 artists from Germany, 12 from Holland, and 12 from here. So we show it here first, also on November 11th with my opening. And then it goes to Germany, January, and after that it will be shown in Rotterdam.
Very nice.
Since they're small, I think it's a wonderful exchange because it's a bridge already in itself.
Right.
Across countries.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
you. Goran?
Hi, I'm going to be in the Hudson Valley Mocha show that Bibiana curated. And come February, I'm also going to be showing at Bow in a 2-person show in Beacon. And then I think in May, I'm going to be in a show at Portland Jewish Museum. And then in December, like in the next couple of months, which is winter, I'm gonna have a photo spread in Create magazine.
Okay.
So that's something different that I've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some other stuff brewing. But
What did you mention your website?
oh, I didn't. It's Lauren Eiferman, my name, art.com. And I also have an Instagram where I post a couple of times a week.
Okay.
So pretty active on that.
Great. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank
January. January.
Hi. I have. I'm gonna just read from my list.
Go right ahead.
I'm participating in the show called a group show called To Darken Lightly. It's in Long Island City Arts Space in Factory Building. It's in Queens. The closing reception party is at 6 to 8 p.m. this coming Wednesday, September 27th. Another show that I'm in is Decode by Monique, who curated by Monique, who was just in the show in this show. Monique Alain and Pauline Galliana. That's online. So I'm waiting for the YouTube recording to be released. And the last one is The Seat. That actually the reception is right now. So after this show, I'm going over.
Okay.
It's in Manhattan, First Presbyterian Church, 12 West 12th Street. So the show ends in November 12th. So you might have to check the hours, gallery hours with the church, but I will try to update that information on my website, which is yuncho.com.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And once again, to our viewers, you can also go to the Inspiration Art Group International website, and it will give you links to all of the artists' websites and how to connect with these particular artists. And Karen, I cut you off. My apologies. You were about to mention one more, I think, date or show.
Well, I'm in the HV Mocha show too.
Okay.
But I don't think I mentioned my website and Instagram. So
okay, please do.
Just my last name, LaFleur Artworks, with the word artwork. So LaFleurArtworks.com, and Instagram is LaFleur Artworks.
Wonderful. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Thank you, Bridget. What I'd like to do is bring up our curator. Hopefully, maybe she wants to speak now. Bring up our curator, Bibiana Huang Matheis, our beloved Bibiana, and so she can let us know about some of the upcoming events that will be taking place. And, please stay connected to our website. Perhaps you might want to become a member of the Inspirational Art Group International, as well as look for our submissions and our timeline of when work is available for you when we invite submissions for future shows, virtual shows, and in-person shows. Bibi?
Hi. Hi. Thank you, Poago. This is a wonderful opening. It's our new format, and I think it's working really well.
Yes, I think so too.
Yes, thanks to everyone. And I just want to share the exhibit is now officially open. And as you can see, we have all 33 pieces artwork in here. This is our landing page. So the way for you to see the artwork is to click on each individually. If you click on each individually, you will get to a full page. I clicked too much. A full page of the artwork, and also have the description of the artwork. And if you collect more, you have a big one, bigger image of the artwork. And that's how you see the exhibit. And also, I'd like to give a big thanks to Mary Smith. She's the biggest, best webmaster I never worked for that put all those things together. And on our exhibit side, we also have the upcoming physical exhibit. and which will be taking place next month at HV MoCA. That's Hudson Valley Museum of Contemporary Art in Peekskill, New York. The opening is on the 14th of October at 2 p.m. We have a premiere of Discovering Landscape by Rosalind Snyder. It's her premiere exhibit. Afterward, we're also showing a few other extra videos that including Karen and Malas and other things. They all being premiered. And also one video from an artist from India that is the premiere in the United States for the first time. So I'm looking forward for people to come see that show. And a lot of people from this exhibit also going to be exhibit in that show. And we were talking about people want to do website or Instagram, but for people who doesn't want to do Instagram, the Inspiration Art Group International is the best place because we have a website driven thing because we don't have a physical space. We have art directory of all the artists that belong to our group, and the artists that belong to our group also can have a link. So people could use, if you don't want to have a website, and you could use us as you join us, you get a page, and that will be your own little website. For instance, she's from this, Diana is from Puerto Rico, and this is her website, and you talk about her on her website connected to us. We'll have a page of all the artists and also show artwork individually big too. So that's something that we offer in Inspiration Art Group International, and hopefully other people will join us. And we thanks everybody for coming today, and especially Mary Smith again, the webmaster who put all the things together, and all the wonderful, incredible artists, and Poago and Bridget for helping us in the background. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.